was
it
cool.
says Star Wars in the
I
title.
love the way the logo is kind of Rogue One bigger, but it's like a Star Wars story or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they kind of had the sprinkling of the theme. Not quite. Do you think it's going to open with the head of Star Wars boom to get people involved?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we may see something different.
Well, I mean, it's cool, but it's like, again, it's this thing of like it's a movie set in the world of Star Wars as opposed to a Star Wars movie. And I think that's going to be the interesting separation. We've never had anything like this, man. Really. I mean, I know we had the Clone Wars animated show and the animated movie that was released in cinemas, but not live action like this. This is crazy. You know?
I mean, advice I would give people, if you want to watch some Star Wars with some completely new sort of characters in, watch the Rebels cartoon, because there's a load of characters in there that you don't know, and it's hard for a while because you think, I don't know these people, but you do, kind of grow to love them and that sort of thing. And then occasionally they have, sort of Darth Vader is in sort of one episode a season or that sort of thing. And I think from what they're doing on like the animation side, they know how to use these old sort of characters and not to kind of overdo it, because it just ruins that whole sort of kind of mystery behind them sort of thing. Which is why I think we'll see kind of Darth Vader, but I think we'll just see him maybe box.
Because his story's really, I don't want. Do you remember those Force Unleashed games?
Yeah.
Where they were just like, they were alright games, whatever, but it was just ridiculous. Like the stuff that it was just like the Force was just way too ridiculous. Darth Vader was doing stuff that's just, you know what I mean, kind of.
We don't need his kind of story retold.
You don't need him flipping around everywhere because he's not really supposed to be doing that, right?
No,
a good Vader story is like that Vader Down comic that's just come out. I don't know if you've been reading that at all.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Really recommend that. Like, there's some cool stuff that's all canon now. They're doing like early Obi-Wan Anakin adventures as well when they're together. So there's that's the world. But don't sort of detract, because it's that thing of the prequels, isn't it? Because it's new and modern, everyone has to do backflips, and it's sort of like more, lasers and stuff.
Yeah.
I think some people might be going into this expecting Vader to do stuff that he's never really ever done before in a Star Wars movie. He's always been a broken man that kind of relies more on the Force than his actual lightsaber power.
Exactly that. I mean, he can't. There's. Again, it's kind of legacy stuff, but there's been books on how he learns to live in the suit, and it's really difficult and that sort of thing. And he is, like you say, just a powerhouse in the Force sort of thing. Yeah. And to see, I mean, I don't think we're going to have. I don't think it's that sort of film. No. It looks like kind of Band of Brothers. Yeah. Kind of Star Wars. Kind of Band of Brothers, which sounds great.
Star Wars Firefly.
Could
be, man. Could be.
I mean. To look at the kind of military side of things would be quite
just more insight into what the rebels were up to. I mean, of course, we know what they were doing, but as you say, we know it's the Death Star plan stealing that. But what's really interesting is how much attention they're focusing on Felicity Jones, setting her up as a main character, because they could have easily just Star Wars trailer, X-wings, TIE fighters, explosions, and people, but they've decided to focus on her and make her. The point, so it's about you establish her as a character like they did with Finn, so it's like she's the point, she could be the vocal point of this movie, probably is, but it's her story. Any theories on where she's going? Do you think she's going to be heavily linked with anyone else in the Star Wars universe, or do you think she is a brand new character?
I think she's brand new. I hope so.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see what happens to her at the end.
Oh, she lives or dies.
Yeah, because you have these kind of before stories and in between kind of stories, and it always kind of makes you wonder, well, we don't see them again. And she seems to be pretty important part of the rebellion in the end, or how this goes down.
She might crash land on Tatooine and meet a young farm boy who hasn't met Obi-Wan yet, and shows him the world, so to speak.
Yeah, that's it. Luke's first.
Would that tie in time-wise? No, surely. Because that's an option, actually.
Well, I mean,
that is an option.
That's the thing. Like I said at the beginning today, I'm not sure if we're going to butt right up against that film. I don't want it to kind of cross past that time and have things going on at the same time. Or I don't know if this is kind of 6 months. I mean, you would think if it's the theft of the plans, the rebels are being chased at the start of A New Hope. So that's what kind of leads me to believe that ship is going to be at the end of this film. And they're going to be being chased and it ends, or kind of whatever. But so Luke is on, kind of Tatooine, I would say, kind of Obi-Wan's down there. But I think it's going to be quite close to that first film, sort of thing.
Oh, just the world building. I think it is so exciting that Disney are able to really be in this position now, because the big gamble was The Force Awakens, right? That could have been this could have derailed everything, and we're so lucky that that's gone on. And I like that. I think Episode 8's been pushed back, hasn't it? I think we did a news on that. It's been pushed back to Christmas.
It's going to
Christmas,
next year,
which is great. We don't want to, it's like you've been saying, you don't want to rush this thing. Anticipation's half the fun, right?
Well, and plus when it's out, you just want to sort of live that time, live the moment. It's when like the other films came up, even the prequels, there were kind of 3 years between them, and you had time in between to kind of relive those films and enjoy some other kind of stories based around that time and buy the toys and all this stuff. Whereas now it is kind of steamrolling through, and if you want to buy stuff, you can't buy it all because it's something new out.
They've got a good
sort of each week.
They've got an interesting job merchandising wise, haven't they, with Rogue One? Because are they basically going to repackage like all the stormtroopers from, it won't be the same design, of course. So, it'll be the old sort of classic stormtrooper designs, and it will just be in a black box with Rogue One. So,
well, the packaging's been revealed. If you have a look online,
okay.
It has been revealed, and there's no actual sort of character.
Oh, I didn't know if it was going to be Jin. Do you know what I mean?
No, it is
same way they used Rey.
Some kind of ships and things like that. Looks like the base maybe, but
they
that has been revealed.
Used Rey, didn't they? Was she on? I mean, I know she was on like marketing, like bags and like
Kylo Ren was the main
it was
focus of the Force Awakens marketing. That.
I love that Star Wars does that. The villain's the main toy. I just love it. There's very few franchises that can actually do that.
Well, that's right. I mean, they used Darth Maul for like the kind of Episode 1 actual kind of packaging, and he was hardly in that film really. But that's
cool,
what they had already kind of sold that guy to you before you'd even seen him. And the same with kind of Kylo Ren really. It's like you sort of like him before you even know anything about him.
I really liked him before I knew him, and then I kind of fell in love with him even though he does some horrible things in that movie. I just can't wait to see more of where he goes in Episode 8.
I think
as much as I'm excited about Rey and Luke and all that answered, I think his progression into finishing his training,
where he ends up,
that's pretty insane, So, super excited. But guys, we're totally just overjoyed with Rogue One. To be honest,
absolutely.
I mean, the dude in the white cape, he's selling it for me even more. With the grey hair. What uniform is that? That's Imperial, is it?
Imperial, yeah. So,
I love capes. I just love they're bringing the capes back.
A Grand Moff outfit, much like Heir to the Empire. There's if you look at the books, like the covers of the old books there, you'll see that, kind of uniform.
Some classy stuff, man.
It looks like he's in the Death Star, and the same set as what was used in like A New Hope as well, and kind of Vader and Tarkin are having their little chat and thing. So all that stuff, as an old fan, gets you kind of excited to see. You're going to see that room with somebody else in it, and from a different angle, maybe.
And of course, they're all going to die, right? Because then it's just cool to this little pocket of an adventure, and that's what's great, because there might not be Rogue 2, so it could be very well a self-sustained story, and maybe these ancillary characters that are popping up here might occur in the Boba Fett spin-off, or the young Han Solo movie, or the Obi-Wan on the desert movie.
It just depends if they try and keep all these kind of tied together, or they really just are, this is a story, a story, and it is all kind of separate. I kind of like that idea, because I know, it's good what, sort of Marvel are doing, where everything kind of ties in, but occasionally they tend to kind of trip over their feet a little bit, where they've set something and then it has to change and people get upset and it doesn't quite flow.
The biggest one is Iron Man, isn't it? When he kind of hung up his Iron Man-ness at the end of 3, and then it just pops up in the next Avengers movie.
With a whole army of death kind of robots.
Which is what he gave up at the end of Iron Man 3.
Exactly.
So there are risks with that, and we have to compare it because that's Disney. So they've made a mistake there, and they could. There's no It's not out of the realms of possibility. They might make a small mistake. 'Cause there's so much paper flying around about these movies, man. Like, this is a big machine. You know? They're trying to build a theme park as well at the same time.
They are building a theme park,
Star Wars, the theme park. We're going to Star Wars Celebration this year as well. That's before Rogue One. So
I would have thought we may see something there. Little new trailer.
I'm really excited,
or something.
actually. That's for Franco's stag do, because he's getting
married this year.
Getting tied down. So no more wandering the universe.
No more wandering the universe.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. They're tying you down, man. But guys, we're super excited for Rogue One. It's out December
this year.
And it's the first in these Star Wars spin-offs. I'm equally excited for both, man. And we'll just say as well, if you haven't seen it, there's a really cool picture of Mark Hamill on the back of Daisy Ridley in prep for Episode 8, which is clearly taking the mick out of the Yoda pose, which is really funny.
I've seen that photoshopped so many different ways this week.
So make sure you check that out, guys. That'd be a really fun Google search for you now that you're leaving us. But remember, the Keeping Cowcast comes to you every week. Most of the time, every week,
when you can.
And you can download it for free on iTunes, Podbean. We're getting on all the other ones. So stay tuned at keepingcow.co.uk for more updates on that. Also, check out our YouTube channel where we have a few more vids like this, shorter pockets of news and stuff. But until then, I've been Alex, this has been Franco, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.